Today, the developers of Counter-Strike 2 announced that they are removing the Vertigo map from the map pool and replacing it with Train. We will also talk about why there is only 1 week left until the next update, which will be the first update this year. Will we get a new graffiti from the major? The presentation of the new generation of NVIDIA graphics cards, which are promised to be much more powerful than the previous generation, and the new NVIDIA Reflex 2, which most likely no one will use again. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe now, and let's get started. Now let's start with some old news. Spanja asked the developers to change the map pool, and today it happened. The developers updated their official Twitter banner, and now there's a RIP label over the Vertigo map. They also posted a new tweet saying, "Good morning, Blast.tv, Austin Major plus Train minus Vertigo. If you didn't know, Austin Major is the first major that will take place and it will happen in the summer. So at least by the Austin Major we will get Vertigo out and Train in, as the developers mentioned. But this is likely to happen even sooner. And finally we will get the legendary Train in the official map pool and watch the major with a new beautiful map, which by the way many people hate because of its new layout with closed positions like these gates, a closed upper position that you can't climb into, and other small changes. By the way, feel free to share in the comments whether you like this new map layout or if you prefer the old Train. As I mentioned in the previous video, the last update for Counter-Strike 2 came out more than 2 weeks ago, and we haven't received any updates this year yet, but it seems that only 7 days are left until the next update. Yes, in the last video I mentioned the thermal treatment Desert Eagle, which should be removed from the game in 7 days, as it is limited in the armor pass. However, it's still unclear what will happen with the armor pass. Most likely it will remain with us and we'll just get a new Desert Eagle, or the developers may forget to update it. It's already the 3rd month. I really want to believe that in 7 days we will indeed get the first big update of the year, and most likely we'll get something more than just the new Desert Eagle from the armor pass. Personally, I really hope that Inferno will be added, because Fempone has been quiet for more than a month. As we know, the cache map was almost done, only missing the CT spawn, judging by his screenshots on Twitter. Plus, Mercy, whose posts I haven't shown in a while, recently wrote in his Twitter that he doesn't think it will just be the removal of the Desert Eagle, but a much bigger update. Not that I completely believe his words, but I would really like to. Remember the legendary moment from one of the rounds on Dust 2 when Robs didn't allow the round to be taken, and the developers even posted the video on December 16, and after some time in January they reposted that video, and the community reacted by saying that the developers might add a no scope graffiti in honor of Robs at that spot on Dust 2. Personally, I don't believe this, but the developers have been active on Twitter lately, although their actions seem to mean less and less. When the developers liked the Spunge's post on Twitter about the map pool change and removing Vertigo, but that's not all. NVIDIA also presented their new RTX 50 series graphics cards. The most powerful, as usual, is the RTX 5090, and the weakest one so far is the RTX 5070 at the recommended price of $550. Of course, it will be more expensive in the Cs. They promise performance similar to the RTX 40, which I personally find hard to believe, but I hope it's true. I'm also curious about how many watts it will consume, but I wouldn't talk about NVIDIA's new GPUs if they hadn't also announced a new technology. NVIDIA Reflex 2. They promise it will be even more powerful, with a new technology called Frame Warp, which, as I understand, predicts the next frames. Yes, maybe I didn't fully get it, but in any case, most likely you'll just disable Reflex 2 again. If you want to understand more about how Reflex 2 works, you can check out NVIDIA's original video on their channel, where they recently released a full explanation of how it works. Remember, in the last video I talked about the Evelyn Duo Cup with a prize pool of $200,000, where players competed 2v2. Everyone was saying that the combination of Donk and Monacy would be unbeatable, and it turned out to be true. Here's the tournament bracket, and Donk and Monacy won the tournament, which seemed pretty predictable. Donk even got knife kills during the tournament, for which he was paid an additional $2,500. That's it for today. This was Reveal. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel. Good luck, goodbye, and see you in the next video.